Okay, so let's continue. So as I've said, 'di ba? So yung normal regular family structure na kinalakihan, it's always the father, mother, and children. So with this kind of setup, they're breaking already the norm. See? So the kid will have or has the kid has two mothers. All right. So let's continue. We also actually na-Google ko, sabi nila meron 72 types of genders. Siguro kaya what is cisgender? These are people whose biological body is aligned with the gender identity. So, for example, me, my physical body is female, my gender is I'm straight female. So it is aligned. Well, while transgender is the biological attributes of a person do not match his or her perception or view of his or her gender. Okay? So perhaps you know this already. So you're physically you have the male attributes, but you view yourself as a female. Diba? Parang mali eh. Mali yung naging assignment. No? Okay. Now, also have gender queer. Okay, so sometimes we call it gender fluid. So this is another kind of gender. They do not identify with a particular gender or sexual assignment. So if I'm not mistaken, kaya nga fluid, kinompare sa fluid. Fluid can, di ba, it can flow, it flows, it can go all over. So meaning to say, queer or fluid can be, perceives him or herself as male, female, lesbian, gay. So, I think any type of gender he or she or they can be attracted with. So, a while ago, ganito rin yung mention definition ni gender. So, she's correct. So, when you say naman sexuality, yung attraction refers to your experiences, attraction, practices, and identity that describe sexual attraction. So of course, sexuality can be, you can experience it even if you, whatever gender you in. So whether hetero, lesbian, gay, yan, bisexual, queer, and others. Okay? So let's differentiate again, sex, gender, and sexuality. So again, sex, biological traits, gender, cultural meanings based on the influence of the society, whether you are masculine or feminine, the expectations, diba, of the society. Okay, sexuality, your sexual attraction, your practices and identity, which may not be aligned with your sex and gender. Okay, anyone who would like to share? Meron pa ba dito uh, iba ang kanyang sex sa kanyang gender and sexuality? Ba? You should not uh, feel ashamed about that. Kasi pare-pareho lang tayo, 'di ba? So, pantay-pantay lang tayo. Okay. So, so these are just some pictures of examples of queer, okay, transgender. All right, so we also have intersex, general term used for a variety of situations in which a person is born with reproductive or sexual anatomy that does not fit the boxes of female or male. So examples, female, she was born with a larger clitoris than an average female. So she can undergo surgeries. Meron din tayong intersex babies like when the baby was born, there's no urethra in the penis. So if no urethra, how can the urine how can he urinate, 'di ba? How can the urine be released if there's no urethra? So surgeries will be done. Some males also, as they grow up, their penis is smaller than expected. So of course, you know the average. You know the expected size of the penis when you are already entering teenage years or adulthood. So if there's a little problem like that your penis is smaller than the usual average size, so that's called intersex. You can undergo surgery. Okay, next, let's talk about human relations. So there are different types of human relations. First is sensuality. So it means your enjoyment. How do you express, diba? Physically, about especially sexual pleasure. So you are trying to condition yourself, setting the mood, uh, in order to fulfill what your senses wants. Examples of being sensual is you can watch sunset together with your partner. You can take a warm bath together, listen to your favorite music, okay, and many more. So it depends. It depends on you. You have your own idea. How will you set the mood? How will you show your sensuality? Okay. Next relationship is intimacy. So being intimate, being having a close tie, so feeling of familiarity to the person, and will evoke the feelings of sharing. Syempre, di ba, once you're becoming so intimate already, or you are in an intimate relationship, you're being you care about the person already. You disclose yourself already. You share everything, your experiences, your past your memories, your everything that happened in your work or in school. You tell everything about your family. It's also risk taking. So the relationship could be a successful relationship or it could fail. So risk taking. You don't know until when will this person be loyal to you, or how what about you? You don't know until when will you love this person. Diba? You don't know how until when will you how will you handle your relationship. You don't know how until when can you handle the relationship. So it's risk taking. Next is sexual identity. So this refers to an individual's gender roles. Yun na nga, sabi natin kayo, orientation, your self-esteem and confidence level, your relationship with family and friends, perception of self as male or female. Another human relation is human reproduction. Okay, so you know this already. This is done through sexual intercourse of a male and female individual. So nowadays we have science advancement. You have heard about in vitro fertilization or having a surrogate mother. So if you're rich enough to undergo in vitro or having a surrogate mother, since since the woman cannot bear the child anymore because of old age or health reasons, so you can undergo this process. So examples are Joel Cruz. Have you heard about him? Siya ata yung may aficionado perfume, di ba? So wala siyang legal wife, but he has many kids. Twins, puro twins ata eh. I think 7 or 8 ba? Parang 3 sets of twins and 1 child. So all of that through a surrogate mother. So the sperm cell of Joel Cruz, I think it will be stocked in whatever clinic is that. And then once it finds the right match, the sperm will fertilize the egg of that woman without really being physical. Same with Vicky Bello and Hayden Ko. So since Vicky Bello is already old, you know it. So they underwent um, in vitro fertilization. Okay, next. So part of human reproduction is using contraceptives, birth control. So of course, if you want to control diba, the human reproduction, let's just say that you are a married couple and you don't want to have more kids. Of course, you will use this method. But I'm not tolerating, of course, using this at an early age na just to control your girlfriend or boyfriend so that you will not get pregnant. Of course, no. So please, 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 as much as possible, this can only be used by married couples. Okay? Next, sexualization versus objectification. So they say objectification, sexual object lang niya nakikita yung tao, disregarding the person's feelings or emotions. So possible na may ganyang kind of relationship, no? There's really no love between the two of them. I think uso na ata to. Station is viewing a person who is not naturally sexual but seeing it as such. So the person is not really being sexual, but you see him or her as sexual. Example, when when a woman is wearing a two-piece bathing suit, you tend to sexualize the woman. Okay, you tend to sexualize more a woman who's wearing a two-piece bathing suit than wearing a one-piece bathing suit. So it depends on the kinds of dress. So kaya nga, 'di ba? For example, ayan, this image. So this is when a woman is wearing such dress like this, they tend to people tend to sexualize them. Okay. Next is another form is through the appearance and body language. So appearance actually is the same with the other one. So it's either you're wearing a sexy dress, sexy clothes, or formal wear, but still can be sexualized. Your body language. Yeah? You know when the person is flirting, you know when the person likes you and is interested with you through his or her body language. So appearance and body language is also an example of sexualization. I have questions. Another example of sexualization, advertisements. That's why women are always the endorsers of cars, wine, 'di ba? Why? Why is it always sexy women? Bakit hindi puwedeng medyo ano lang, average person, average woman lang ang mag-endorse ng mga kotse, ng mga wine, ng beer, okay? So siyempre aside from, relating okay, yes. For appearance, sabi ni Dean, of course, so it's perhaps it's more effective if the endorser is attractive or and, let's say sexually attractive. Kasi nire-relate lagi yung alcohol sa babae, 'no? 'Pag may alak, may balak. So, even advertisement, so is an example of sexualization. Okay, next, um, talk shows, movies, and medias can also be a form of sexualization. So, example, if the performers are dancing, or doing belly dancing, so they see it as a sensual dance. Wherein there's the technique and there's a history behind that. Pero it's being disregarded already. Who cares about that? Okay. Next, harassment and sexual assault. You know that already. That's also another form of sexualization. Most of the time, most of the cases that we're hearing, it happens in school, in universities, professors and students. So what? Who else? In corporate, diba, your officer in charge, your supervisor, and his or her staff. So it's possible to happen, and it's a form of sexualization. Okay, so let's continue. This is the female reproductive system. It's still part of the sexual self. So of course, since we're talking about the sexual self, we will relate it to our reproductive system. But anyway, you know this part already, right? you you have discussed this during your elementary days. So you're very familiar with your female, I mean, with the reproductive system. So you can just go look at the screen, just familiarize yourself. So of course, you know the vagina, the opening to the outside, and females, we have two ovaries. So they're working alternately. So each of these ovary will release an ova or an egg once a month. Okay, and that ova will, if it will not be fertilized by an egg, or I mean by a sperm cell, it will become it will be your menstruation. It's like that. Kaya tayo may menstruation. Kasi wala siyang na-meet na sperm cell. Walang nag-fertilize. But once it will be fertilized, you know that it's the start of um, pregnancy. Okay? So, alternate lang. Yeah, so for this month, the left ovary will work or will produce an ova. Next month, it's the other ovary that will produce an ova. So, same way na naman tayo, male reproductive system. So, you are also familiar with this already. You have studied this when you were younger, right? So, just take a look at it. You know already the penis, sperm, yan. So, meron silang prostate gland, seminal vesicle, ureter. You know that. Okay. So, the testes are, can be seen, I mean, it's part of the, ano ba tawag doon? Yung outer, ano mo rin, outer, I mean, yung physically nakikita din natin ang testes, no? Wait lang. Okay. Next, okay, sexual responses in humans. So when you say sexual responses in humans, these are physical, emotional, chemical changes that happen when a person is aroused during sexual intercourse or participates in sexuality stimulating activities. So like even if you're just kissing or holding hands, okay? So some people, in order to get aroused, or if they want more pleasure or if they want to reach orgasm, they tend to take food supplements. um, they tend to eat aphrodisiac food. Tama? So they say that when you take some kind of aphrodisiac food, um, it will arouse your senses, your sexual response. You will be more sensual and you will be more aroused. So yun. Especially to older people nowadays. So since I don't know if they're having some problems already with erection, they will take some pills or food supplements. Okay? Next, love and attraction. So define lang natin, plainly put, attraction is short-lived, while love is strong or intense feeling of affection to an individual, which is usually attached with a strong emotional feeling. So, syempre, yung attraction, short-lived. So, until now, even if you are in love with someone, you can still be attracted to to anyone or to someone. But that is just an attraction, diba? But love is different. It's a stronger feeling and it's an affection. Strong emotional feelings. It is a strong emotional attachment. You know that already. Okay, next, according to Sternberg, there is a three theories of love. So sabi niya, meron tayong intimacy, passion, and commitment. So when you say intimacy, a while ago, minention natin, intense feeling of closeness or attachment to a person. Ano naman ang passion? Depth, fiery feeling or attractiveness which can be sexual or romantic attraction. So it's like stages, right? So when you are on the early stages of your relationship, you are being intimate. So, andiyan tayo, papasok yung intimacy. And as time goes by, you are already having a deeper relationship. You know this each other very well. So, pasok ang passion. You're becoming sexual already. There's romantic attraction already. And yun, ulit-ulit, hanggang sa tumatagal yung relationship, commitment na. Papasok na yung commitment or decision. So, you combine the intimacy and passion, then commitment ang lalabas po dyan. Why? Because you want to prove to the person that you are serious and you really love him or her. So, commitment can be done through entering marriage to really prove that you are serious. Pero sa iba namang case, pwede rin naman ang commitment, hindi mag-enter into marriage. Just being loyal and faithful to the person is already a sign of commitment. Okay. All right. So let's go over with the different kinds of sexually transmitted infections. So nowadays, information is easily accessible. Yes. So adolescents during the crucial time of development and being aware of their sexuality may access information that may disorient their perception of love or sex. So you are familiar with the most common STD or sexually transmitted diseases. So you can search it in the internet, okay? And of course, as much as possible, or we really have to avoid getting infected. So adolescents, if you are, you are in a relationship right now, you should really be careful. No, syempre, andun pa rin yung ugaling conservative, no to premarital sex. But if you cannot avoid it, a while ago we mentioned about contraceptives. And aside from that, you should know your partner really well. And of course, stick to one partner to avoid STD. Okay? So, tingnan lang natin yung mga different kinds of diseases. Yung mga commonly na nakakahawa. Okay? So, if you're experiencing or I mean, if the person is experiencing some of this, like may pain na sa urination, pain with sex, may mga discharge, or itchiness, ayan, may mga tumutubo na kung ano-ano sa iyong sex organ, so it's time for you to consult. You know that already, okay? So, conclusion, men and women are sexual beings endowed with the need to love and be loved. Our sexuality is one factor that contributes to our identity. So, let us protect our body, emotion, and sexuality. Especially kayo, mga bata pa at mapupusok pa. All right? Question?